Hi all, welcome to this session actually. So here in this week we mainly focused on different services that Azure is offering, and we have explored different kind of application protection, application delivery, application different kind of services and all. And we tried out some labs as well, like Azure Bastion, load balancers as well. So in this session, we will be mainly focusing on connecting, establishing a connection between two virtual networks. So yeah, our idea is to, first of all, we covered Azure Bastion, which is kind of using RDP instead of using 33894, we are using. So what's the idea of Azure Bastion? And also regarding load balancers, we have created two virtual machines actually and we provided a single IP or a single entry point to access it. So like we have two websites available and it was accessing to with the help of a single public IP. So according to some random rules and load balancing algorithms, we are getting alternative vendors as well, means alternative websites as well. So that was the idea that we have in load balancing as well. So it is to distribute traffic among the workloads. So it will be always checking that status of the VM, even if, for example, if we have a copy of these are two copies, then the user can like, either will get a response from this A computer or from B. So what happens is if they have two sets of applications, means version A and version B, which is the same application, we just bring this concept to increase our high availability. So even if the A virtual machine goes down, B virtual machine will be there, and the website which is hosting that will be accessible using the so similar kind of stuff we can achieve with the gateway as well. So since it is attached a public IP, it will be a public. So this was the main. I just go through those recap in a nutshell. So it was like that. This was the main discussion that we had in our last few sessions. Obviously, first of all, we will discuss on the doubts you have so far, so that we can take care, and then yeah, we do have some agenda for today itself. Like mainly, our agenda is like you know we will be having the we have deployed load balancer, RDP, and different kind of things. So today our main agenda will be like we will be using two virtual networks, and we will create one VM each, okay, one VM each in two VNets. So one VM will be there in the first VNet, and one VM the second VNet, and we will try VNet peering. So VNet peering is something like what? Yeah. For example, this is a VNet and this is another VNet. As you know, no traffic can go inside unless and until there is a rule that that allows to enter the traffic. So same way, if we are considering VNet A and B, like even if the traffic coming outside, which means either it is from a different VNet or from public source or whatever, they must have some kind of rules in VNets to allow or deny, like, or whether from where they need to allow the traffic and all. So we will try VNet peering. VNet peering is something like, as I said, we will enable a bridge in between so that the resources in a VNet can talk to resources in B, and vice versa. So this is the outcome that we are expecting for today. Yeah, before jump into that, I wanted to know your doubts on the previous topic so that we can explore it and then we can jump into this. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, sir, earlier we used to create one VNet, and in each VNet we used to have two subnets, right? One management subnet and other one is like server subnet.
Okay.
So, so if while going from the management subnet to server subnet, we used to create an separate IP for the management subnet, right? And with that IP, we used to enter into the other subnet, right? The server subnet virtual machine.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
On the other hand, if let's say in server subnet, if we want to communicate with the different virtual machine, let's say from server 1 virtual machine to server 2 virtual machine, we used to create server 1 IP address, and from that IP address we used to get into the second the second server virtual machine, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So mainly in a VNet, all the traffics means inside a VNet there will be a range, right? There will be an address range, right? Correct. 172.192.160.1.0/24 or something. We used to have this address space, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So inside a VNet, every traffic will be happening as per this address range. So we can call it as a private IP address range. Okay. Okay. Why I am calling this as a private address range? Because if I am creating a server in management server, this management server, okay, if you are creating a VM here, definitely what happens? They will create a NIC card, right? Network interface card inside that. So this network interface card will get an IP, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can decide whether this has to be a private one or a public. Okay? Anyways, in any cases, whenever one NIC card is created, there will be an IP. Okay. So all time, every time, whenever an NIC card is creating, it will get a private IP. From where they are getting that private IP? Obviously, that address will be a subset of this, which means this NIC card, NIC, which means network interface card, will get a address from this range. Okay. If this is in this range, for example, this subnet is having 1.1-1/21 or 21, 25, 28. What happens is this NIC card will get an address from this address. Okay, how many IP addresses are available? Accordingly, this NIC card will get a private IP. So, like this, whatever the resources that we will be deploying inside a VNet, okay, If there is a NIC card is creating, they will get a private IP. And if we are like provisioning a public IP is a separate resource. For Azure, actually, whatever we create, that is a resource. Okay. So public IP we are creating separately, which is a resource that will be attached to this NIC card actually. Okay, that's optional. This is optional. Whether like either we can go with the public IP or without a public. That's fine. So private IP is used to establish connection inside the VNet, which means the intra-VNet means whatever the traffic has to be happened inside a VNet. For example, a subnet to a subnet, or within a subnet. Okay, what happens is they will use the private IP. So if this is a VM, they will have a NIC card. Here also they will have a NIC card. So using these NIC cards, they will talk to each other. If this NIC card needs to communicate with this NIC card, yeah, definitely they will do. Unless and until we configure, like if we configure something that deny outbound or inbound kind of traffics, then it will not go. Otherwise, by default, inside a VNet, they will be able to connect. Whether it is across subnets or inside subnet, that doesn't matter. Sufyan, do you get an idea? Do you need any more explanation?
Yes, sir. So if let's say if we want to get in from management subnet to server subnet, so
okay,
we will so in server subnet we have like let's say 2 virtual machines, right?
okay,
so
okay.
for first virtual machine, so we have to create public IP. We have to take the public ID or public IP of that, right? So that we can communicate with management subnet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Inside a VNet, we don't need a public IP. Okay.
Okay.
Inside a VNet, only private net IP
Private
should
IP.
be fine. Okay. Why we are using public IP? For example, in management subnet, we created one server and we accessed it with the help of what? RDP, right? RDP. We use 3389 port to access this with the help of what? With the help of a public IP, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Why we used public IP? Because we are coming from outside this network. Okay.
Yes.
We can call it as like we are an external party. Okay. That's why we are coming with the public IP. Okay. If we are the native guy means if we are a resource or we are a client or we are an entity that reside inside this VNet. Okay, I can go here without a public IP because why? I'm already inside this VNet. Okay, then what I need to do? Only I can refer private IPs. I don't need to rely on public IPs. Okay, and yeah, I can explain it in a different way. For example, now let's say you are in USA, okay, and okay, USA has some like boundaries, right? So some regional boundaries they have, and you are familiar with the local cities they have, right? Maybe Texas or California, whatever, or New York or Princeton or New Jersey, whatever. Like, you will be familiar with those cities, right? Someone who is coming from, for example, Africa. Okay, someone is coming from Africa. Actually, they don't know what all cities exactly have. Yeah, I heard about maybe New York or something, but I don't know exactly where it is. Correct. So
Yes.
I will like seek some help for that. Correct. From someone who is already there or with some sort of utility, means any utilities like a Google Map or something, right? Correct. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, because inside this USA, like most of all guys know each other, or maybe they know places as well. So they don't need to like rely on any external entity or something. Yeah, they are aware of it. So they don't need to go outside and check, okay, like for example, if one guy need to go here, he don't need to go to Africa and say, oh, okay, I need to go there. They don't need to do that because they do have internal resources as well. Maybe they can ask someone here itself. They don't need to go outside. So, and there will be some green card or some kind of IDs they have inside USA. A guy who is coming from outside may or may not be have that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that the concept is like if we are in a network, okay, we are in a net, VNet, they will the resources, whatever the resources that is come inside, it will have definitely the private IP will be there. If we like deploy an VM, we have an card. If we have something else, definitely something will be there. If that's what I said, that's why private endpoint and service endpoint we need to see. Okay. For example, we have a web app, okay, web app, which is a PaaS service, okay, platform as a service. We can't put this web app directly inside a VNet. For that purpose, what we'll do, either we will create an NIC card here that is called as a private endpoint, and we will link it to this web app. Otherwise, what we'll do, we will do a service endpoint, which means how many web apps I have, like there will be 2, 3, 4 replicas or 2, 3 different type of apps are there. I will create a service endpoint here, okay, and it will be automatically connecting the service. So if we are using web app, we can connect to all web app that we have here. If we are using a service endpoint that connects a database, definitely it can connect all the database that we have. So it is like it's just a matter of NICAD. Yeah, that's the easy way to understand. Okay, and the IP will be private always. Whether we need to go with the public IP or not, that's up to us. Because if someone is like, for example, here we tried one to access some VM, right? Like we access a management server, and from here we go to a server here in the other subnet. From here, what we did, we only use the private IP. We didn't use the
Yes,
public
private
IP.
IP.
Correct? Yeah.
Yes, sir. We
Because
use private IP.
yeah, why? Because this resource is already inside that VNet, which means this resource is native. Correct? This VNet native
Yes.
inside this VNet, so he can talk or she can talk with what all resources is there. They can talk. Understand? Until we are denying something. So we rely on this public IP to access from outside. Okay, if we are already inside, we don't need any public IP. We can use
Yeah,
the
we are
private IP.
communicating through private IP.
Right, right. And it's about the
But sir,
traffic.
yeah, But sir, from the same subnet, from the same server subnet, if you want to communicate from one virtual machine to another virtual machine, so
Okay.
are we using the private IP there as well?
Yeah, see, this subnet where it resides actually. Subnet is definitely inside a VNet, correct?
Yes, sir.
So they will do. If it is,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Either it is in a same subnet or in a different subnet, whatever it may be. Or for example, if there is another subnet also, this is management, this is server. For example, this is called DB server, DB subnet. Okay, where we will put database inside this. Okay, if we have an instance over here, we can connect it to it with the help of private IP. We don't need any public IP. Okay, I'll
So sir, while creating the load balancer, we have took the same IP addresses, right, for the two virtual machines.
yeah, because load balancer, there are different kinds of load balancer.
Yeah, because I have seen like I mean, you have switch one IP address off, right?
Yeah.
So,
Actually, not one. Both of public IPs are removed, correct? And I created
yeah,
another IP address for load balancer because that was a public load balancer. That's why I created a public IP, and I used that public IP to access this servers. So that servers are in via VNet. So I add those servers as a backend. So the load balancer will take it. Correct, and I don't need a public IP. So it's like that.
Sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you need a more explanation? I can.
No, sir.
Okay.
So far, yeah, all dots got cleared.
Yeah. So and yeah, I'll say I'll tell you one more thing. Because these are very important. That's why I'm explaining, taking time and all. Whether we need to like spend another session on something, yeah, that's also fine. It's not an issue. Either we have some SLA, the course as well, but okay. This is a VNet. Usually this is not much a good diagram. Lot of things are here. So yeah, for example, this is management subnet. This is server subnet. This is I can say this is database subnet, and yeah, this is like yeah, I'm creating this for yeah. DB is actually a SQL or Postgres, what kind of thing that we can. So I will put this is as a website. And here I have a managing software. And here I have okay, DB software.
That's different VNet, right, sir?
Yeah, definitely. This is VNet one. Okay. So here management server subnet. Basically, why we are calling management is like we just put a VM here, okay, here as well. And obviously, what we will get? We will get a NIC card. Also, I will get a NIC card. So, why we are using management subnet is basically it is to manage all this entire VNet. Because there will be a lot of resources deploying, so we need to connect to that resource. That's why we are using management subnet. Otherwise, there is no use of management subnet. Okay, it is completely for an administrative task actually, because we need to connect it to any other resources or any other workloads that we have in the VNet. We need a VM. We need a VM to manage it. That's why we are using management subnet and a server inside. Whether it is a Windows or Linux, that's up to us. Like whatever you are comfortable with, that's fine. Okay, and the kind of workloads that we. So that's why we are using subnet, management subnet. Otherwise, like we don't need this. So here, yeah, this management subnet, this machine that we have deployed, okay, is we are using this service to access all these workloads that we have in this VM. Okay. So I can, once I use a public IP, okay, once I use a public IP to access this VM, either 22 means SSH, or 3389, which is RDP. These are in the important ports. Okay, so I'm taking this from a laptop, okay, local laptop. Okay, so I can use this public IP and I can log into this. So now I am inside the VNet, and for example, if there is two systems in each, let's consider two systems are there in each subnet. I can use, here we use public IP, but to connect all those resources, what I can use? Private IP. Okay, so I can access with the help of this one, or I need to connect to this, or I need to connect this, or with the help of this private IP, I can connect to this. Okay, and similarly, yeah, I have two servers here. With I have a private IP. Actually, I have private IP, right? For all the sources which is creating, it will have private IP. So with the help of private IP, I will connect to this. Also, I will connect to this. Okay. These are two networks, different networks. Okay. So yeah, now you got the idea, like how it is connecting. Unless and until we need a connection from outside, then only we will rely on public IP. Otherwise, everything will be private. Okay. Vice versa also, like they can connect to this management server as well. But the intent, the duty of this management, the purpose of this management server is to connect it to all the services. That's why we normally use a management server. And so here we use private IP, here we use private IP. And from outside, even if it is from a different network, we need to use a public IP of the resource. If you have a public IP for this management server of this virtual machine A, then we can connect to that VNet, this sorry, what it is? Yeah, that VM A with the help of public IP. If they have attached one public IP, we can connect with the SSH or RDP, or we need to access a resource like from a different network. Everything we can achieve with the help of a public IP. Okay. And
Yes,
now
sir.
I am introducing a concept called VNET peering. This is, we will create a bridge in between. So once VNET peering is established, what happens is, if I need to access from this subnet, okay, this machine. So from this machine, if I need to access this, what I can do, right? I will use this. I will go through like this. I can go through this window, this bridge, and I can access whether I can access this or this with the help of what? Right. You get me? You follow what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If we can directly connect to the database subnet in the virtual machine too, so I guess there is no need of management subnet there, because we can still connect from VNet to V2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly
yeah.
correct. You
Because
don't need to.
the use of management subnet was to receive connection from the outside, receive
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
connection like
yeah, correct.
IP, and then connect to the private IPs.
Correct. Yeah. So in this case, there are two ways to connect, actually. Two ways to connect, which means here we have A and here we have B, right? Either one, like for example, either one have public IP, we can connect to the old resource that we have in those 2 minutes. All right. Here we don't have any public IP for this management server subnet. So we are relying on this public IP. So it only A have public IP, so it can be achieved. And if A don't have a public IP, then if we need to assign a public IP to B, so that it can go around this network. So it will be considered as a what? A single VNet, a single network, we can say. It will act as a single network. This is why, and this is very much important thing, because this is business scenario, railway scenario. We need to access this resource from this and from there, from this, like that. We need to access. Okay. So for that, we will use this way, like VNet peering. And this VNet peering is the core behind hub and spoke architecture. Okay, hub and spoke architecture. I told you, this was architecture,
Yes, sir.
hub and spoke. So
Yeah,
this
we
will,
already discussed about it.
yeah, we can like use a hub and a spoke. And for example, we can call this as a hub, because why? Yeah, we can't, because there are a lot of workloads. But in a way, we can say that since it is having direct access to public, and then it is go to another network, we can call it as a hub, but it will not support other kind of workloads. But in terms of the connectivity, yeah, it will have that connection to, like, connection without internet and all, or maybe there's a connection to outside, so we can call it that, call it like that. Otherwise, like, it is not actually a hub, only contains network kind of things, which means either they will have a gateway or firewall or that kind of things. They will not have any server subnet, they will not have any database subnet, that kind of thing. Only they will have only network routing, traffic like that. All those things will be there. Nothing else will be there as well. Okay. So yeah, this is it. And any other? Do you have any? Please just shoot it. Okay.
No, sir. I'm just understanding by Sufyan's questions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, just ask questions. So it will give you to understand more things. Okay. Even if you have one more doubt, I can explain and we can sort it out. So, so the main thing, and so just be like, what is private IP? What is public IP? Okay, what are the endpoints that I mentioned now? Private endpoints and service endpoints. So private endpoints means they will have a NIC card inside this VNet. So network interface card means that it will have definitely will have a private IP. Whether we need to have a public IP or not, that's optional. So if we have an NIC, we can link to that resource. So that's what a private endpoint and a private link. So if we have a service endpoint, then what happens? It will be using public IP itself, so that the group of that services, whether it's a storage account or a web app or a SQL pass instance, it will be accessible with this network, VNet, but using public IP. But the traffic will go using the Azure backbone network. Okay, it will not go publicly. It will go through backbone network, Azure backbone, but with the help of public.
Sir, let's say, I mean, this is the besides topic. Let's say we have like so much of virtual machines right now, right? So how much load balancer do you think we needed for the in this case?
Yeah, here see, that it, load balancing is mainly that we are using because a lot of things, because either see, here we have two instances each flow. Okay, and we may rely on either we can have a load balancing solutions here to distribute traffic to these two. Okay, here also we can have one. For database also we can have, but we will mention some kind of load balancing. Unless and until if it is not available, then it will go here like that. They can mention some rules. So it's up to the infrastructure.
Yeah. So I mean each load balancer for each subnet.
Yeah, that that we can do if we need more like availability and all. Otherwise, like even if we have what we can say, yeah, if we have these much resources, we can actually these are different services now. That's why we need to put this kind of things. Otherwise, if we have a single subnet and 10 virtual machine, only one load balancer is fine, because we can add it to the backend, right? So like that.
Yes, sir, yes.
And also there is some kind of things that I can mention. Either we can deploy different load balancers here for different services, or we can mention okay, one load balancer here. Okay, one load balancer here, and we can put this as the front end. Okay, front end resources, and this has the backend resources. We can put like that also. So instead of two load balancers, like we can either use one, because this is listening to this, and accordingly it will give the traffic to this DB subnet, like that, an internal load balancer kind of thing, because it does not have any public IP. That's why it is internal load balancer. I will call it as LB. Okay. So that's up to the solution. How we are designing, accordingly we can keep load balancer or application gateway. If it is an application gateway, then it can handle direct request from HTTP, HTTPS, and like 80 and 443.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it's 880. Okay, these are important. 80, 443, 3389, 22. Also 53 is there. It is for DNS. Okay, these are very important. 1433. It is for database actually. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. SQL.
Sir, 1433 is like for which database?
SQL.
Okay.
This is for Postgres. Postgres SQL. Okay. Like this, there are different ports that we need to know. So yeah, if you know this much, that should be fine, because that's enough for to understand. So make sure you have what is 22, what is DP port, HTTP, HTTPS, DNS, 140. Yeah, these much will be enough. Even if you don't know this, that's also fine. At least because SQL is a popular one, so that's why 143, 53, 80, 443, 22, that will be just do some hands-on. Okay, that the lab that we are getting, repeat it so that you will be able to understand what all these ports are. Then actually, I'm not by hurting this. I'm not by hurting 53. Okay, 53 is DNS, 53 is DNS. I'm not by hurting. Why? I'm always deploying or handling these resources. So I know that, okay, this is this. Like that, you guys can handle definitely. But unless and until you need to go by answer, then you can. So keeping hands dirty will give a good amount of experience. Okay. Actually, these are real-time scenarios, which means these are the kind of situations that we are handling in the industry. So it is not like I'm saying some theoretical stuff, but it's an actual infrastructure that we do follow for what? For this kind of to achieving some requirements. Okay. And yeah, and also, yeah, I can, yeah, this is the all good. Do you have any queries on this?
No, sir. No. Yes.
Okay. Okay. If you have so, just raise your questions, and yeah, I'll explain you one more scenario, and then I'll go to that this thing. But that hands-on part, that lab we have, I mentioned in the
Yes, sir.
beginning, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, beginning, right? Another. Okay. So recently, I think one project earlier I worked on, it was like they need yeah, actually they have one subscription obviously, and we need, so they have one subscription. Okay, this was a subscription that will be. Okay, this was a subscription. And I have a resource group. I'm calling it as RG. There, but the requirement was they need a server, an SFTP server. SFTP server is something like it is a FTP is file transfer protocol. So SFTP means it's a secure file transferring methodology that we will be using. We will be using mostly 22 or 21 port for this, but sometimes we can configure that. Even if we are using 2200 port, that's also fine. So mostly SSH port we will be using either 22 or okay, so 22 will be the main, the one that we will be mostly using. So either 22 or 2200. We will not much rely on 21. And yeah, so this here, what the requirement was like, they need an SFTP server. Okay, only an SFTP server. They don't need any kind of things, any different things about. So what we did was created a VNET. Okay. This is the VNET. We created a VNET. We ask for the address space, okay, because it's their network. They may need to whitelist that network somewhere because they do have some office and all. So they may need some whitelist kind of thing in their network. So we asked what are the range that we need. So normally we will be, yeah, that's also, we'll ask the client or the organization what range you are expecting. For example, okay, they said, okay, 10.0.0.0/24 you can use. They said, let it be. Okay. So we are using it. And we created a subnet over there. And what we did was, actually, they have a recommendation too, like there is one server, one SFTP provider. They need to use that. That's it. So in Azure, they have provided a VM. Okay, they have an image. So only what we need to do is we need to create a VM with referring that image. That image means like Windows, Linux, we do have different image, right? OS. So similarly, they have one SFTP image. So we created that, we provisioned that server. Okay. So, and okay, actually, this is the port. This is the goal. They need a server, and they are accessing it with the help of public IP. Okay. So here they are using 22 port. Okay, 22 port they are using for SFTP, and they do have some security concerns, like they can't enable 3389. Okay, we can't enable 3389, or I can say no other port than 22. Okay, only 22 can be enabled. Others have to be disabled. Okay.
Only SSH, not RDP, nothing.
Okay, this is RDP. This is normally for SSH, but here we are using the same port for SFTP as well. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, that's fine. And see, actually, we know, and yeah, I'll come to the reality. So, yeah, this was the requirement. And yeah, it was one older project actually. And the team, like, yeah, they got that project, and like the management get those POs per like project, and all those things, and we provisioned it. Okay. So Do you think any issue is there with this?
Well, there is no management subnet in it.
There is no management subnet is there. Okay. Why I need a management subnet?
For dealing with public IP.
Here I have a public IP. Okay. But it is only enabled 22 port, which means the SFTP port itself. No other ports are open. Any Abdullah or anyone have any kind of, is there any issue with it, or is this fine? Just think about long term also, because there may be some maintenance activity, or there may be some uses. We need to add some more uses, or we need to increase the visibility of the server. A lot of things will be there. You can also consider that and think, is there any issues here?
Yeah, this is called one server.
And you said, and Sufyan,
No,
you said
no,
we need
no,
you need
yeah, management subnet.
yeah, you said management subnet, but
Yeah,
why
for
we
long
need,
term.
yeah, why we need a management subnet?
I mean, for long run.
Yeah. So what's the main goal for that actually? Why we need a,
Let's say, like in future, if they add more servers, then at least there should be I mean, there would they would have a management subnet, dealing with that.
yeah,
But here in this case,
yeah,
they don't have,
yeah,
and
I can.
no load balancers as well.
Okay. So forget about the balances and all, because that is not applicable in this scenario. Okay. The thing is, here we have the server, okay, and it is having public IP, which will only be able to access with the this kind of port only, and this is a Windows VM. What happens is, say, I need to configure something in this server. I need to access this. So it's a Windows VM. Definitely, I need what? 33892
RDP.
configure some. Correct. RDP. I need to take RDP. But they are not telling, like, they are not allowing us to take RDP directly to this machine. At that time, that's what Sufyan said. We need a management subnet here. And we will create a VM over here. Okay. Then we will have a NIC card here, right? NIC card will be here. Then we will create one IP, but public IP. And we will access that RDP with the help of this. So once we have this public IP,
we can connect through that SSH from
correct.
management to.
Yeah, here we can use private IP, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can use the private IP. No issues on that. And there are some more tasks that we can do. If the system is idle for 10 minutes, it will shut down. We can configure that kind of activities inside a VM. Okay. So which means even if someone is accessing this and just take an RDP and do configurations, if it is idle for 10 minutes, it will go down. If it will go down, even if they have some public IP with someone else also, if they try to access, they can't. So this was the solution that we had at Apple. Like They don't need any any higher level kind of solutions. Only this is enough for them. So we finalize this. Okay. So this is why a management subnet or a management server we can do, because the subnet name will be made different, like that's up to us. But the idea is to administrate things. We need a VM or something inside it, according to the workloads, whether it's a Linux or Windows, that up to absolutely that up to the work kind of workloads we have in that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You got it? Then yeah, let's try to create virtual machines and VNET. So as I said, no, yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Sir, I had a
Yeah.
question. So,
Yeah.
how much big role does Linux play in this then moving forward?
Can you
Like,
repeat
does
that? Sorry.
does Linux play a role moving forward in creating subnets?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, actually, Linux will not have much thing. If we need a Linux VM, okay, then we can provision Linux VM and do the same activity like that. But it's not about we don't like we need to like like use some different kind of architecture or something for Linux. Similar kind of thing. There is no like yeah, if it is Linux, we can't take RDP, only we have to take what? SSH.
SSH.
Yeah, if it is like Windows, we can use RDP. If it is Linux, we can use 22 means SSH. We can't take RDP on the this thing Linux, and we can't the way we select. So um, that's up to us only actually. If we need to provision a server in Linux, that's also fine. Okay. So you have the idea now. Just try it out. You have the lab link. Just try it out. And if you are in like getting some issues, come back to me. Yes, sir, this is I'm getting. I'm not able to do this, or I'm not able. Okay, then we will find a solution. Okay. Because why I am always seeing Windows is that is familiar to you guys. That's why. There are no like alternative approach for Linux, only port things like not normal port Linux things. That's it. You can like try with the Linux also. Try creating a VNET, put to create two subnets, put to servers, Linux servers, try to connect. Do that. Okay. That's how we experiment different kind of things. Whenever we are starting our career, we used to do a lot of things. Experimenting. We may spend a lot of time on that. That will definitely pay off. So it will help us to understand. Do you get your answer up to now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's like that. And yeah, let me. So yeah, that the thing I will be trying to do is I will create. I don't know whether we have enough time. Yeah, I will create 2 VNets and I will try to do the VNet peer. Okay. We'll try to create 2 server here and just ping it. Ping means just try to connect. Okay. That's what we will try to do. Let's see. Then we can finish. For that, I need 2 minutes, right? First of all, I need 2 minutes. So, virtual networks. Data virtual network. Okay, so for this video we can create. So we have a resource script that we will use in a test. Okay, STS. Next. /24 I will take.
Yes, 24.
Yeah, I can go for 23, 26, whatever, 16 also fine. See, 65,536 addresses are there. If we are going for a big network, if we are provisioning entire infrastructure of an organization and all, then we can go for /16. Here, maximum we will create 2 virtual machines, right? So we don't need to waste that
And
much.
that would be totally depend on the requirements, right?
Yeah, definitely. See, because from this IP to this IP it will support. If
Yes.
I am mentioning and consider my organization only have this much IP address, okay, and they are providing me, okay, give me 2 VNets or 2 like, yeah, for example, we need 2 VNets, 2 different servers in each VNets. They are saying, if I am taking /16 right away, this will be allocated to this single VNet itself, and I am not able to create another VNet, right? Because the entire addresses will become inside this.
Yes.
So yeah, so we need to
65 is
think,
too less.
yeah, we need to think about how many servers will be there, whether these addresses will overlap. In future, how many can, like there may be some, even if some kind of scaling up or down, like do we have, we can expect this much, okay, like that we can think, and accordingly we can put. If we have, for example, if we needed 10 IPs for now, okay, we can think about 5 times 50 maximum, because that should be fine. And mostly we will be creating different subnet for if we are incorporating or if we are like deploying a new application. So that's fine. So don't go with /16 right away. But it is like, yeah, if the organization is saying that, okay, you just go this with /16, I'll give you another address for another thing, then that's fine. Because they may have a lot of things coming in future. That's fine.
Sir, let's say if once the IP address is created, so in future, can we change that?
We can't change the IP address, but we can add multiple address space. Okay, this is address space for VNet. Okay, we can add another address space, but we can't do editing.
Changes.
Yeah. If we have a 24 range, yeah, I can add another 25 range as well. No issues. But it's like that. I hope you got my point. Okay, I'm creating one. Okay, I'm just okay. For now, the purpose is to achieve VNet peering. So I'm not concentrating on much on these things. I'm putting default itself, whatever yet of it is. I'm entire like I'm allocating the whole address space to this. So I'm not worrying about that because my intent is to establish a VNet pairing. Running validation. Okay, it is done. So let me create it. And while creating that, I will create another virtual network. This create network. VNET test 02. Next. Yeah, this VNET is created like that. 192.168. Yeah, see, if 00, yeah, I'll do one. It's created now. Okay, one VNet is created. I'm creating another VNet. VNet test 02. Zero dot zero slash let it be for like this. And I'm not thinking about this. Just repeating it and right. So ideally, I'll have two virtual networks. Here that's also created. So it's creating. So ideally, I'll have 1 minute ready. Okay, the other is also ready. Yeah, so I have 2 minutes here. Next, my goal is what? I need to create virtual machines, right? Okay, so I'm going to virtual machine. I'm creating virtual machine, I go virtual machine. Using this virtual machine, VM test 01. Let's say East US and yeah, okay. Before that, what? I will. Right? Yeah, I'm going for server for now. This one, okay. Password, username, password. Yeah, there are another concept called SSH public key. Okay. This is something like we can connect with the key as well in Linux. So if we have a key, we can paste it and we can access with that. But for reasons we will be using username.
So the public key, we have to save it in a file, that type of public key, right?
Yeah. I'll in sometime. Yeah, I'll explain you that part in another section. So okay, and yeah, for your question, yeah, we need to serve it on our local so that the idea is like but yeah, so now itself I will say. So we will have two files. Okay, two files we will have a private key as well as a public key. Okay. These two keys we will have. Public key, as suggest, you can share it wherever. You can share it to me. We can post it in wherever, like even if we are putting it in Facebook, that's also fine. Okay, no issues. This private key will be in your local laptop or whatever device you are trying to access. So if you are putting this public key in a VM, okay, Linux VM in Azure Cloud, what will happen is this will check with this. Ideally, the public key check with what is private key. If it is that handshake is happening, then you will be able to access it. If the handshake is not happening, then you will not be able to access it. Okay. In this VM, you will have one folder called authorized key. Okay, one directory will be there. So you need to put this public key inside this folder. Then this authorized key will check with the private key of your laptop, and that handshake happens. Yeah, good to go. Come in. It will. Otherwise, if it is not handshake is not happening, this VM will say tata bye bye. That's it. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. So that's basically private key and public keys. So this is like, yeah, there is a command to generate a key. So once that is created, you will get private key as well as public key. You can put that, copy that private key, public key, sorry, that public key. And that public key, you need to, yeah, if I select public key, see here is an option, generate new pair or use existing. If you select use existing, you can paste it over here. Okay. Then you can do that. Then you will be able to access it. Okay. Currently, I'm going for password for reason as that. Is that fine? Get me? Shall I move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll give you a task. Just go through it and just try it. Okay. Now I'm creating one and disk. Yeah, I'm not care about it. I don't care. Okay, I'm selecting. See, I'm selecting VNET. Okay, doing test one. Yeah, for now I'll use one IP. We are associating one public IP. IP test 01. I'm using only SS2 port. So okay. Yes. Rest of all is like a common kind of configuration that we do. I don't need that to do. Same way I'll create another. Okay, I'll do one more thing. I'll create one more VNet test 03. I will tell you why I am creating. I'll put it in HTTPS. I'm putting it like this. Okay, I'm not changing this address itself. Wait, running validation. What happened? Let me try to read it. Maybe it's a policy kind of issue. Try to we delete it. So now I have 3 winners in my pocket. Okay. One is 2 of them are in East US and one is in West US. Okay. Okay, let me try to create it. I'm not able to create this VM again. Then I will show you how to create VNet pairing. Okay.
Okay, sir. Standard just But so you're not creating any subnets in it, right?
no. I do have a default. When we create one VNet, it will by default it will give. So I am not thinking about that for now because that's not the main intent that I need to achieve, right? It's VNet pairing. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me check. Yeah, meanwhile, I'll go to VNet 01. Okay. So we need to achieve VNet integration, right? Means peering between two which networks. So there is an option called peering here. See this here now. So we will click on peering. So it will give, we need to add peering. Okay. So just it is under settings only, peering. Then currently we don't have any peering. So we will create a peering. So I'll click add. Okay. So I need to mention the link name. So which means VNet, sorry, VNet 01 to VNet 03. Okay. Allow VNet test 1 to access the paired dictionary, which means this we need to select because we need to allow traffic, right? So we need to allow that. Allow receive traffic from the paired VNet. Okay. So we need to tick also this. This is fine. Okay, that's also fine. Then remote virtual network. What was the link name? Link name is vice versa. We will got VNet 3 to VNet 1. Okay. Then subscription virtual network VNet 3. Okay. So I'm connecting to VNet 1 to VNet 3. Okay. Then I allow VNet 3 access to VNet 1. Okay. Any doubts here?
So, is that include like I mean, VNet 2 as well?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Now we are enabling VNet 1 to VNet 3. Okay. Okay, VNet 1 to VNet 3.
Okay.
And see what happened. VNet to VNet 3 is enabled. Here what happened? Okay, that VM is created. Okay. Here also I'm creating another public IP for IP test 03. Selecting VNet. Okay. See, you are getting VNet test 01 and 03. 02 is not there. Do you know why it is?
No, sir. Why is it?
Yeah. Keep in mind. Okay. I'll answer to that question. For now I'm selecting VNet test 01. Okay. Test 01 we have. So I'm selecting test 03. IP. Okay. It's fine. Meanwhile, I'll tell you. VNet 1 and VNet 3 is in which location?
East US,
But VNet 2 is in,
West.
that's why we are not able to create a VM. Which means STUS is not having any issues. But yeah, where we are trying to create a VM?
In a different zone.
East US region. Okay.
Yes.
So if we are creating a region like in VM in a region, VNet is like only supported in region wise. It will not support across regions. Which means if we are deploying a resource in East US, we can associate a VNet which is already in East US itself. We can't associate with the VNet we have in any other region. Got it?
Okay. So it means like peering can be only happen in the same region.
Yeah, we'll check. Let's see.
Okay.
That's why, like, if I'm showing you right away, that is better now. Okay, let it create. Meanwhile, VNet test 01. Peering. Okay, VNet 01 to 03. Okay, I will add one more thing. VNet 03 to VNet 01. Yeah, before that I will do one. We will go to VNet 03. Okay. See, here it is automatically created. We didn't create anything. Right. We created VNet 01. This only we created. It's created here automatically. Correct. If you see here, virtual network peering, two activities are happened there. Successfully added virtual network peering, VNet 3 to VNet 1 to which need VNet just 03. Actually, we created one, correct? V01 to V03, which is in first VNet, but automatically it creates in the third VNet, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we have two VMs in place. Okay. What I will do, right? I will connect SSH, Azure admin Azure @ public IP. Okay. We take the public IP, VM test 01. Okay, this is the public IP. I need to put the password. Now I am in this admin Azure VM test 01. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to access the other one also. SSH admin Azure @ what was the other IP? T7.1. So I am in VNET test 01 and okay. So this is fine, right?
Yes, sir. So we are in test 01 and test 03, right?
03.
Okay. But sir, why didn't you enter through the test 01 through RDP?
Because this is a Linux server.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we opted Linux. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. That's why. Okay.
Okay.
And see here, this is the private IP of this VM. Okay, 192.168.04. Let me confirm it. VNET 01. See, correct, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
192.168. So this is the IP, and here also 10.0.0.4. Okay. I'll confirm it from here itself. Correct, right? Okay. Then what we will do, right? We will ping 10.0.0. What happens? We are getting response, right?
Which response, sir?
See, I ping 10.0.0.4. Okay. 10.0, which means from VNet test 1. VNet test
Okay.
1, I ping which IP, private IP. It's private IP.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I am
So
getting
it's taking
response.
updates. It's
Yeah.
Connecting. Yeah. Responses
Connecting,
from
right?
VNet, one
Yeah.
VNet to other
See,
VNet.
39 packets transmitted, 39 received, 0 packet lost, which means the connection is there, correct?
Yeah, connection is perfect.
Yeah. I'll do one more. Let me create another virtual machine in virtual network 2. Okay.
With the same region as virtual VNet 2.
Yeah, I'll later we select, earlier we selected East US, right? Now we will select this one.
West US.
Yeah.
Okay.
Windows server, password. By default, it is saying 2 only. Why? Because this VNet is in same region. We don't have any other region. VNet in that region. That's why it is not testing. We get that point now.
Okay.
So VNet will be connecting only to those resources which is in same
Same region.
Yeah. I'm creating a public IP here also. Okay, so yeah, what we are doing, we connected from VM test 1, which is in East US, which is in
East US,
first VNet to
third VNet.
third VNet, third VM, correct?
Yeah, same region.
Yeah, same region. Let me try to ping this private IP. What was this? 192.168.0.4, right? That connection is
Yes.
happening, correct?
Yes, same connection from 3 to 1.
3 to 1 is also happening, which means that integration is happening. It is
Yes.
in a
Connection
VNet.
strong.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's why it is able to like what communicate with the help of what private IP. Now it is,
Yes, sir.
yeah, it is like a same network, correct? Yeah. And I'll do one more thing. Here do we have what? It's public IP, public IP. This is the public IP, I will try to ping the public IP of the first VM.
Okay.
Let me check whether it is 51. It's not happening, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is again okay. So I will try to access this VM as well.
Sir, which VNet you are logging in?
Yeah, the second one.
Oh, the
Second one,
second one.
second one. Yeah. Yeah, we
From
will get.
from which VNet? From third one?
No, I'm just logging into that server, not
Oh,
from
okay.
VNet. Okay. So I have two here, okay? Currently, we don't have any integration with both the VNets, right? VNet 2 is in different.
Yes, sir.
So we
It's
don't
in a
have any
different
connection.
region.
Yeah. So if I try to ping 10.0.0.4. Yeah, from 2 to 3 I'm trying. Okay.
Okay. It shouldn't take.
Yeah, it is not taking. Right. Then I will ping 192.168.0.4. Not happening, right? Here 8 packet 100% loss. 5 packets 100% loss, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the difference. This is what VNet peering is. VNet, we can peer two VNets in same region. We can't peer Yeah, let's try. So this is the difference between like period VNets and non-period VNets. Then I'm going to Virtual Network 2. I'm adding VNet 022.
4.
No, I'll be doing to VNet 3. Okay, let's see.
Okay. Okay.
223. Okay. So 223 network is happening. Here 321 and 322 is also there. Okay. Now let's
Okay.
try to access 2 from
3.
3. Correct. Or vice versa. This is 2 now. I'll try to ping that.
So you are typing the public IP, right?
No,
Oh,
no.
no, the private one. The private one.
Right. Yeah, I'm getting response. Earlier we got right from here. Yeah, IP means 92 or 100.4. Okay. I'll do the same. 92.168 or 100.4. So it's happening because 2 and 3 are connected, correct?
We just peered them.
Yeah. And I'll try from here.
So even though they were from different region, but still like because we peered them, that's why they are connecting with each other, right?
Correct, definitely.
Okay.
So the idea is like even if we need to connect 2 devices, which is in 2 networks, which is in 2 regions, what we need to do? We need VNet peering.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
This is the real thing, like the action that we did. So similarly, you just try. Okay. You
Okay,
guys
sir. Definitely.
all you with help of this recorded video, just make it. So I'm just finishing this for today. I think it takes a little more time. Yeah, but that's fine. Yeah, clearing the concept now. That's fine. So just do this, and tomorrow I'll give you a task. So I'll post it in the group. Just take it that so that will give you idea. From the next
Okay,
week
sir.
we'll
Okay.
be discussing more about the what's that we are applying for. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thanks
Definitely.
for the same.